What is up, everyone? Hope you're having a wonderful, blessed, and amazing day. Not sure what's going on here. I cannot see my chat, but that's okay. I know another workaround for it. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. Okay. Well, let me get this working. I might need to reset my computer, but I'm not going to do it tonight. What I'm doing is I'm just going through my questioning things about the moon landing. So let me let everyone know that I am live. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to bring over some images of the moon landing, and what in the world is going on? It's like everything's messed up now. I don't know what's going on. Y'all able to hear me fine, by the way? I assume so. Press 1 if y'all can hear me fine. Okay, cool. Alright, so here's one of the things. This is from Apollo 8's mission. And you see where the image right here. It's at the horizon. I didn't realize my camera was messed up. But yeah, it's at the horizon, and the moon is, you see it cusp on the top. But when you go into that date of this, that's December 24th, 1968. So let's go to it. December 24th, 1968. Now, here we are. Now, I want you to notice something, okay? December 24th, okay? Sure, it's at the horizon. Hold on a second, though. If you look right here, okay, you see that we're on the north end. I don't know if this is north or south or whatever. The north end of the moon, which is not where they were for taking these images. These images were taken, give me just a second. We're out here in these middle areas, 11, 12. Here's Apollo 13, 14th, things like that. Earth is all the way up. You have to pan up. It's not at the horizon. So in order for them to get the shot, well, then they would have to have had to, be orbiting the moon in order to get to that backside. So it doesn't really make sense. If you're going to launch here to come home, you're going straight out. You wouldn't sit there and be like, hey, let's go take this really cool shot up at the north end and then spin it around and come back. You'd loop it. So, doesn't make sense to me on this. Another thing is, so I want you to pay attention to something. Look at the shadow of Earth. Okay? Shadow of Earth is on the left side. While in this, it's on the top portion. I can't recreate that. If I was to go and move the time up, okay, it still always stays on the left side all day long. We're on the 25th now. You want me to go back to the day before to where they say this image was taken? Okay. It's still on the left side all day long, even the day before. Okay. There is no top that happens. In fact, I haven't even found one stinking one of all these dates to where Earth's shadow is on the bottom and what you see of Earth is on the top. So I'm trying to find it. Can't find it. Let's see. Good to see Occasion. Good to see you all, everybody. Thank you all in here. Thank you, everybody, for giving the thumbs up. I appreciate that. So, mirror image. I mean, I would understand mirror image if it was flipped. But what they're showing of these images that were taken is that it's always Earth's on top. And all of this is always the showing of Earth is on the left hand side. Oh yeah, they lost the films, yeah. Which is a hilarious thing to me. And I'll just flat out say it. I think that the reason why they have not gone back to the moon is because now China, Japan, Russia, and several other countries have a lot of high-power telescopes. They understand how things work, and they would be observing this, of zooming in and being like, hey, is someone there? Let's go! Crazy Dopey becoming part of the Team Spicy team. Let's go! Welcome, Crazy Dopey, to the war, Deadpool. Membership on the YouTube side. Thank you so much. You didn't know it expired? Yeah, I was wondering. Someone else's expired too. But yeah, I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much, Crazy. The most important mission. And it's like, whoops, yeah. I get it. You know, how many women have, wanted to beat their husband up for taping over their marriage, but here you are for this one, and I mean, no other country has gone to the moon, has ever put a man or a woman, no human on the moon, not even a monkey. So interesting, right? There's other ones. What's funny is when you go to Apollo 12, where astronaut Alan Shepard and Edgar Mitchell photographs Earth from the moon's surface, that image has been entirely removed off of NASA's website. I'll pull up here in a second. Or no, I'm sorry. Yeah, this is, I'm sorry. Which one was it? Was it Apollo? Maybe it's Apollo 11. Yeah, Apollo 11. I'm sorry. Said that wrong. Apollo 11. NASA's own website right here. NASA.gov. Just whoopsie. We've removed this image off. You know, but hey, y'all have lost footage though. So yeah, no wonder y'all are doing crap like this, right? But I do have an image that astronaut Charles Conrad and Alan Bean captured. So give me just a second. And it's images like this. This is what you get. Again, like I have said several times, down at the horizon. The only way that you can get that, is to be on the extreme north end. Let me show you, because the moon is locked in on Earth. It's not like the moon orbits or anything, okay? I mean, it's got like this tilt. That's just at most that it has. Okay? So when you're sitting here, okay, so that was from Apollo 12. So let's go to, wait, wrong one. Let's go to Apollo 12 right here. So they were at the Oceans of Storms right here. Anybody can zoom in, take a look if you like to, okay? Look how far Earth is. Okay? Up in the sky. Way up. Okay? It's not down at the horizon. Okay? Well, let me put in the right date. That might help a little bit. That would have been November 14th through November 24th in 1969. And then in 1969. All right, so here it is. Here's where Earth is. Okay? It's not down at the horizon. You have to pull back. You have to pull back so much you can literally see west and north. Okay? That's more than your eye angle is. So if you were to get in what your eye angle would see, if you were looking straight at the horizon, you don't see it until you tilt your head up. Okay? But you have this image right here that's shown at the horizon. So another thing is, Earth is almost in full bloom. Full bloom. Let me show you how this orbits around, okay? You see that? Comes down a little bit, but you'll see it. It just sits here in circles. That's it. High up in the sky. It never comes down to the horizon. Will never, ever, ever happen unless the moon started to orbit. Or not orbit. Started to turn, rotate. Doesn't happen that way. And yes, all the planets were aligned. Or not all of them, but a lot of them were. Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, and the Sun. Right there in a line. And okay. So there is no bringing the Earth down to the horizon. Does not happen. Won't happen. So how did they get this shot? And you go, okay, well, maybe it wasn't exactly from from that spot. Maybe it was like a little bit up, which means going to the extreme on the north end. And like I said, why would you do that? You wouldn't go to that spot. And if you go to that spot on October 20th, here you go. It's on the left side. It's not this north end. Now, if someone wants to debunk me, please. Or not really debunk me. Show me how to recreate it. Show me what time, the exact spot they were in. At least provide some good factual information. So, are the planets aligned right now? So even if you sit there and say, well, what if you come over to a little bit of the left? And I can do that. Okay. So I come over a little bit to the left. Again, you're still seeing Earth where what you see of Earth is on the left side. It's not this top. Okay? And come over a little bit more, and eventually you go too far west and you'll never see Earth. So that's why. There is no spot to see Earth. Okay? It's because of you're getting too much on that edge to where you'll never see Earth. So if you come over here to where you're on this east side, give me a second. No, I'm still too much below. There we go. Okay, so see, once you go too much over here, you're going to get to where Earth is always not visible. Doesn't matter what time you do it in. It's not going to be visible. Okay? So even if we go this high up, okay? It's like, man, it's close, right? I mean, that's staying close. But it doesn't look like this image that they have provided to us. Doesn't look like that at all. Okay? That's taken from on top. I can go back and forth in time. You see how it does? It's staying right there. So it's like at a 45 degree, okay, instead of being 90 degree on top. White, thank you so much, Ken, with the question. He says, where was the orbiter module? I believe some of the photos were taken from the orbiter. Thank you so much, Ken. And could be that. And that's why I'm saying maybe it did go up here to the north end, but doesn't really make sense because it wouldn't be sitting here just orbiting around the moon. And if it was, you still can't recreate the shot. Doesn't matter where I go at. But very, very good question. And also, thank you for that gift. Greatly do appreciate you. So it doesn't matter if I come all the way over here. I just lost Earth, but it's okay. Here's Earth. Now you've got it to where it's down here. You know, let's see if I can come down to the south end. And again, here it is down here. I come over some. Let's see. Now you got Vincent, stop it. Stop. He's being a brat, trying to tear down stuff. You need to have also an elevation. Yeah. Yeah, so I can move this around. I just can't get to where Earth will be on the cusp. You get it close. Like, this is the closest that you get. That is the closest that you get to it. And it's not going to get any more than that. So I mean, dang. I mean, it's close, but it's not that. So Charlotte, I'm sorry, it's because I'm on this screen. Charlotte, let's go. Thank you so much for that gift of the "You're amazing." Greatly do appreciate you, Charlotte. Sorry, I'm not able to see it when it shows up exactly, so I greatly apologize. But thank you so much, Charlotte. The reason being is, for some reason, the software that I use is not working accordingly. So, I hope you're still in here. If you're not, I will message you. So, thank you so much, Charlotte. Screen locked your phone and put it on the side, and that's the only way. Yeah. So yeah, if you change your horizon and tilt it, then sure, you could tilt the horizon to where it's like this, and then you would get it like that. Charlotte's still in here. Oh, it's Charizard. Of course it is. Thank you so much, Charizard. Greatly do appreciate you. Yeah, y'all treat me a lot better over here on YouTube. Thank you so much. Let's see what y'all are saying. The Red River, the north by me, all cell towers disappear over the landscape. It's on the flattest places on Earth. You need to have also an I read that one a second ago. Vincent's been doing good, a lot better. So he is fully healed from surgery. Thank you for asking. Charizard. Let's see. That's why I thought the west side of the moon. But I understand what you're saying is how you tried and you can't. Yeah, I just can't. Like, this is the most over that I could go, and after this, I'm just losing Earth. Like, I can get it just where it's right here. Hold on, let me see how let me remove that landscape. There we go. Oh, don't give me this kind of landscape. Landscape's got crap in it. Let's see. Yeah, now I'm all the way west. I know. I hate trees in the image. If I do the moon, it gives it a mountains and stuff. Yeah, right here you can tell even this, pushing it as much as I can without it going out of image. This one lines up fairly right. It would have to be taken right here though. This one does. I would say I could probably get pretty close with this. So if I did that, so there you go. Here's this image. And that would, but this would be the spot though. So that would be the spot. Let's see if now I can. So let's see. Let me write this down just so I can copy this. And then let me copy this one. Okay, so we're 33 degrees over and 22. Now, if I go to, so I know y'all can't see it, but I'm going to hold my finger where it is. So this was taken all the way over here is where it was. So you see the red dot there? Went from here in this spot all the way over here. That's where they were. That's where they landed at. And again, Earth's all the way up here. And when you ask about this one, it literally tells you that astronaut Charles Pete Conrad and Alan L. Bean captured the image of Earth from the moon's surface. I have no idea how many miles that is, but it's not, it ain't no short distance. That is a lot. So let's see if I can capture this. Let me see if I can find out how many miles that is. Oh, travel. All right, give me just a second. And I'll tell y'all. All right, let's see how many miles that'll be. That would be approximately 7,838 miles of traveling. That ain't happening. And they say that that image exactly right there was taken from the surface of the moon by those two astronauts. Appreciate it, Adrian. I wonder what NASA's going to say. Like, I want to see, like, whatever image they say that they have of the moon. Like, NASA's going to have to go back and change things. You'll eventually see this. I guarantee if my video catches on like wildfire, NASA's going to come out and they're going to change things and be like, oh, no, this is the image that was taken. Just like they did when they got confronted on, hey, you know, the International Space Station from Earth is just this little far away. You know, the International Space Station's around 300 miles, okay? And in order for them to get that full spectacle view, they got to be out this far, you know, a lot more, hundreds of thousands of miles, not 300,000. I mean, not 300 miles. So they have to be this long distance away. And International Space Station's not. So when they got called out on that, they came out and they were like, oh, it's a composite of 33 images. Okay. So while they used to try and act like they had an entire shot of the moon. So, I mean, of Earth. So, no. This field's not from there. This is just one of the landscapes that I can choose. But great question. I wish I could change. Yeah, actually, I can leave it like this. This will be a little bit better. Yeah. That'll resemble a pretty fair horizon there. Yeah. Let's see, what are y'all saying? Freedom said, so someone is lying somewhere. It has to be. Someone's telling a lie, you know. Like, I'm totally fine if they came out and they said in the beginning, if they would have been like, you know, hey, these astronauts didn't take the picture from the surface. This is when it was orbiting around, you know, type deal. Okay. Explain it to us. Don't sit here and tell us, you know, something, because once you see some type of lie, you're going to question it. Or I know I do. Whenever I feel that, or whenever I start to see that someone lied about something, and as much as I've seen NASA lie, I just discredit everything. They could be very true on 90% of their work, 70% of their work, 50%, but I have no idea because of how many times I see lies called over and over and over and over. So, unless they want to sit here and say, hey, this is exactly how you got to punch the data in, then I'm all interested in being corrected. However, it's not just this. There's tons of things that I see them being, you know, contradicting, twisting, flat out not answering. You know, now they get, you know, set up questions. So they know who's gonna ask what in the audience and things like that. So now I question all these images from the James Webb. I question them. I mean, I just do. Like the type of, I don't. It is. Yeah, I just question it. I mean, some of the stuff that they show. So, let's see. But yep, that's where we're at. I'm glad that I was finally able to move it around on a spot to see exactly where an image could take in place. However, it's 7,000 miles away. And I have no idea how that modular was orbiting the moon. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see if GPT knows. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to find an answer. Space the Final Frontier. They might have put images in place of things. They might be trying to hide just a thought. Oh, yeah. I know y'all are hearing a lot of typing. So if you're wondering, like, I'm working now and just kind of talking to y'all while I'm doing this. I know some people are not bothered with that, but I'm just doing research and then going to analyze this and put it together in a video if I want to. So while the astronauts were on the surface in the lunar module, the Apollo command module was in lunar orbit, piloted by the third astronaut who remained. Okay. All right, so it did orbit around. It stayed about 60 miles above the surface. Did not stay on one side of the moon. Instead, it orbited the moon in a complete cycle, which included passing the dark side. They now call it the far side. It'll always be the dark side to me. Where it was briefly would lose communication with Earth. Now I'm trying to find a link of the Apollo command module orbiting, like a path. That's not going to help me. You get a lot of animations of how they say it would. You know, with the moon. Let me show you all what I'm talking about. You get a lot of stuff that's like this. You don't get a northeast, southwest, just get a mixed bag. Man. I can put this where this would be 60 miles above. Let's do this. just a second. So that's roughly 96,000 meters. Which that doesn't really change anything. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. No telling, though. What did Kimmy say? Trick photography. Or Mike said trick photography has been around for at least a half century. Oh, yeah. Ever since photography became, there's ways that they did to manipulate it if they wanted to, or just have fun. The phone call from the moon to next... Oh, man, had no time delay. That's another one. But yes, it should have greatly had a time delay. Even if they said something, he immediately said it back. There has to be a time delay until they hear it back, and then to get back to him. So, but yeah, great. That one I agree with. Let's see. Didn't AI imaging start in the 50s? It's just, it's honestly, it's easy to manipulate. Images. You could literally, if they wanted to, they could show you an image of moon surface, and then they've got it's just a picture of moon surface, and then they could add on top of that a picture of Earth. Literally take tape and put them together. Take the image again, and you got black and black, and it blends together. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it should be fairly easy. And that's just with tape. And you take another image of it. So does that make sense of what I just said? Especially when you're saying that you don't have stars. So, which I understand that they say, hey, yeah, we couldn't get, we don't have images of the stars because the sun was out, is what they would say. But the thing is, the sun wasn't always out. I mean, you can literally sit here, okay? Here we are at Apollo 12, okay? The sun goes down every day. So it goes down at, 7, even though that's on the 21st, by the way. Well, I guess I can't say every day because it doesn't. But it does go down at some points. Am I on the right spot? Hold on. Yeah, I am on the right spot. Yeah, the sun goes down, you know, once a month for like a couple of weeks, and then it comes up. So now it's come back up on the 20th, and it'll go back down on this, beginning of the next month. So for a couple of weeks, the sun's up, depending on what spot you're at. But for the spots that they were at. So let's do this now. Let's see, December 20, July 16th. Let's see what that was like. July 16th, 1969 was the first moon landing. And was there no sun? They were up there from the 16th to the 24th. There we go. 21st is when the sun started coming up. All right. Hold on a second. Let's see. Huh. Well, this is interesting. Apollo 11. Y'all know when Apollo 11 landed on the moon? Someone take a guess. If you don't know, or Google. That's fine. Now, while y'all are answering that, I have put at Sea of Tranquility. That's where they're at. Apollo 11. Okay. And 1969, July. But the date of the month was July 20th. Well, I've got something of a spoiler alert for y'all. But the sun was not up on July 20th. Until that evening. Yeah. Or until the 21st. Sorry. Yeah, look at this. Interesting, huh? Interesting. So if it landed on the 20th, I'd like to know at what time. Unless they would have landed at, so to say, midnight. I think I can change the time on this. Give me a second. There's a way to change time. Give me a second. All right, so here we go. Go to plugins and find time zone. These calendars. Trying to find. I'm gonna try and find something. Wait a second. Need to put your readers on. When I first started at a newspaper in '99, we had a dark room. Nice. All right, so this says hit the 5 key. Nope. It's not what I'm looking for. And that ain't gonna help me out. See if it's here. Here we are. Time. That's not going to help me. That didn't help me. I know I can do another thing. Here. I'm gonna have to figure that out later. Has it been abnormally warm for anyone else this time of year? It's been pretty fun to me. Yeah, it seems like it's been fine to me. Man, I wish I could put this thing into... I know, like, when I come back to... I need to come back down to Earth. When I come to Earth... okay. Well, there we go. Okay, now, hold on. Let me go back to the moon. And now, let's go to Eastern. Okay. And... Alright, so now we're here. What's that thing locked in on? Random. Okay, so now it's locked in. So, on the 20th, when daybreak happened, it would have been at 3 p.m. So it's not as bad as what I thought. Midnight looked like this. It's not very bright. It's damp. You would have thought that they wanted to land during, daylight. And when you look at Neil stepping off, it looked very bright for the... I mean, I'm just saying. Look, very bright. You don't see the long, dramatic shadows. So... Love it when they take stuff off. But yeah, I mean, it looks very bright in these images. Barely awake. Oh yeah, the time change messed me up as well. Yeah, but in order for it to be like, nice and bright, you're talking like the 24th or so. It's when it was nice and bright. Let's see the next moon landings. November 14th, 1969. All right, let's go to that spot. So here we are, Oceans of Storms. This is where Apollo 12 landed. Okay. I'm sorry. November. Okay, so November 14th. Yeah. So here it is, November 14th. 1969, correct? Yep. Now let's see. Let's see. They landed on the moon on the 19th. Let's see what it looked like. Dark. That's what it looked like. Same thing. I mean, maybe they arrived right at daybreak. Let's, what'd you say? I'll get used to it when the time felt the same. Yeah, those are stars in the distance. They should have seen stars. Even before. You know, at some point in time, they should have seen stars. So, but they didn't. Your sister was born the day they walked on the... That's cool. All right, now let's go to Apollo 13th. Oh, yeah. Well, never mind. Apollo 14th. And that was the third man landing. That was January 31st. And that was 1971? Yes. Oh, no, this one's kind of interesting. Hold on. All right, so they arrived on February 5th, 1971. Same thing, getting there when daybreak happened. And they left out on the 9th. I don't know why you wouldn't want to get there when it was bright, but yeah, right when daybreak happens is when they arrived. $80 and strong. Yeah, I've said it before. You know, I'm a realist. That I'm just. It's not that I refuse the moon landing. It's because I have so many questions. It's not a simple one. So, Let's now do Apollo 15. Watch, one of these days we're going to get up there and it's going to be dark. So this one was July 30th, 1971. And this spot was over here. Again, same thing. Getting there right when daybreak is happening. I'm really surprised that they want to get there at daybreak happening. I mean, it's not a bright surface. Appreciate it, Lone. If anybody else ends up gifting me, will y'all let me know? It's past your bedtime. Alright, so now we've done the 15th. Let's look at Apollo 16. So that's April 21st, 1972. What I say, April 21st. Killing me, Smalls. They do this exactly. I wonder why. Well, I'm gonna find out. Friday night after you told me you were going to go to sleep, I was up like 5 minutes after and didn't wake up till almost 10. It's a good night's sleep. All right, now we have the last Apollo mission, or the last one for carrying man. And this one happened on December 11th, 1972. And this one took place right at daybreak as well, from the Sea of Showers. Interesting. Okay, now I gotta find out from ChatGPT why they did that. They were timed for several particularly and scientific reasons. Here are the main factors that influence the decision to land near daybreak or during the lunar morning. One is lighting conditions for visibility. See, that just doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. The early morning of the moon offered better lighting conditions for the astronauts. The sunlight at this time creates shadows that help provide clear visibility of the surface features. At dawn, the sunlight is low and creates longer shadows, which helps astronauts better see the terrain around them, making it easier to avoid hazards such as rocks and craters. Okay. Thermal conditions. The temperatures extreme on the moon are significant. Lunar day temperatures can rise as high as 127 degrees. That's Celsius, people. It's 260 degrees Fahrenheit. While nighttime temperatures go to the extreme opposite, all the way down to negative 280 degrees. During the morning hour, or during this time, the first day, temperatures were negative 40 degrees. That's what they were when they landed. And when they left, they were around negative 0 degrees. Oh, they definitely. I'm with you on that. I feel you on that. They just don't want you to know what's on the dark side. And it's easy because the sun goes around to the back side of the moon. You could definitely see what it is. So I would like to see what it is. So, and whenever I look for it, I never get a nice image. It's always like AI generated. Let's see. Apparently, don't hold me to it. But apparently, this is one image. The back side, or the far side, as they call it now. And it has a ton of craters on it. It's always interesting to me of how much. Let me show you something. So how this is, just smoothed out over here. On what we see. And if they're saying all this is craters and stuff. But here's my thing. These craters to be hit are meteors, asteroids, whatever, coming at it. I want you to understand something, okay? So, if this is Earth, and this is the moon, okay? Then in order, and I get it, the moon's way far out there, okay, where it wouldn't even be in the frame that I'm saying. But what I'm getting at is one side is always facing Earth. In order for this meteor asteroid to come around, it literally has to do like a curveball around Earth being thrown into it. And look how many it has. The front side of the moon is impacted just as much as the backside is, except for these bald spots. If it wasn't for the bald spots, it would look no different than the backside. Unless you go there yourself, I believe you will will only ever see AI generate. Yeah. Oh, let's see. Why is there flat areas on the moon? The flat regions are primarily found in the mare areas, which are large, dark, flat plains made up of solidified lava from ancient volcanic eruptions. These first plains are much smoother than the highland regions of the moon, which are more mountains and heavily cratered. Those flat areas take up about 16% of the moon. They're formed by ancient volcanoes activity billions of years ago. The lava that filled the impact basins created these flat plains. And what's interesting, it says these flat regions were ideal for Apollo landings, as they offered smoother terrain for the lunar modules to safely land. Huh. Let's see. See what other theories there are. They say the crust is thicker on the side facing us. All right, so let's see. Number one is lava flooding, which is what I was just telling you guys. They say that happened 3 to 4 billion years ago. Number two is impact basin formations. Another explanation involves the idea of giant impacts creating massive bases on the moon's surface. When these impacts occurred, they could have been so large that the energy release caused the formation of very flat areas in the basin. They were created by the impacts. After the impacts, volcano activity could have flooded the basin with lava, contributing to the smoothness. These giant impacts could have caused fractures in the lunar's crust. Number three is thermal convection. The interior of the moon was hotter than the surface. Another one, and and it's less likely, but its tectonic activity are responsible for much of the surface smoothness and relief. Some researchers have speculated that the moon might have experienced some tectonic activity in its early history. Though this theory is very likely, the moon doesn't have tectonic plates in the same way Earth does, and its smaller size means it's cooled more quickly. And there's still debate on that. Meteorite impacts. We kind of went over that. Regolith compaction. That's where a layer of loose, fragmented material covering the surface on the moon is also a factor. In some areas, may have been compacted over time by constant bombardment of micrometeorites. And then you have erosion and surface process. Unlike Earth, the moon has no atmosphere and little to no weathering process. There is no wind, rain, or tectonic plate movement to erode the surface, meaning that any smooth regions are more likely to have been shaped by volcano activity. They are big on volcano. So they're saying that it's a loss of internal heat. That's why there's no volcanoes today. How did the moon get hit on the tail end? It's just like I get it. Asteroids and meteorites can come at different angles. Nothing is primarily the same. I'll say it like this. Whenever you look up at the night sky, you'll see, meteors coming from different angles at times. So, yeah. But good question. I don't know if I really get into the moon. Having volcanoes, but I don't know. I don't know. You think it used to circle Jupiter? I mean, Jupiter has its own orbit. It doesn't orbit the sun like the rest of the planets do. Yeah, so Angie, what they're saying that the middle used to be was, magma is what it used to be, but with it having no atmosphere, it's freezing cold, and now it's frozen up. So there's no more volcanoes that'll happen. Yeah, I'm not a person that's a fan of the center of the Earth being volcanoes. I mean, volcanoes being magma. Just that one's never really felt right to me. Something that you're not going to prove. They can come up with their theory, stuff to justify their theories, but until the day that you drill, 500,000 miles into Earth, give me a call. So, you know, you can go down to the deepest point in the oceans, and it's freezing freaking cold down there. You can go into caves, and the lower you drop, the colder it gets. So that's me. You can sit here and say, well, there is, you know, these type of caves, and they do. That's fine. You know, you could sit here and say, oh, there's these spots in the ocean. That's fine. But, you know, but majority of the places that we go to, they're not sitting here being like, oh my gosh, it's too hot down here. You know. So they say that the center of Earth is made of iron and nickel. However, the number one theory out there, according to ChatGPT, is actually hollow Earth. That is the number one theory, not what we're taught. Did y'all know that? The number one theory, according to ChatGPT, is hollow Earth, not magma, not what we're taught in school. It's actually hollow Earth. It's a inner world or large cavity at the center. Advanced civilizations, or that there's a sun in its center. Does anybody know when that theory started? You want to take a guess? 1700s. Why? Because there wasn't really that many people who actually believed it was a globe. So I think that there is some areas that can hold magma, but I don't think it's all. The reason why it's dismissed is because there's no evidence of a large hollow spaces within Earth. Dude, we've gone what? Like just a speck of Earth down. Like, no. So stupid. Let's see. Other theories suggest that it's crystal Earth theory. The idea is some proponents of crystal Earth theory have speculated the Earth's core could be composed of crystalline iron or some other form of crystalline structure. The origin of it, the idea often draws from the belief that the extreme pressure at Earth's center could somehow cause iron to crystallize in a form different from what we observe in its natural solid state. While the idea of crystalline structures forming under extreme condition is not ruled out entirely, there is no substantial evidence suggesting this. The next one is a super dense exotic core. Made up of some type of plasma. Then you have iron and silicone. This one's not really ruled out. There has been seismic data and studies of Earth's magnetic field are more consistent with iron and nickel composites to the core. That's the one that everybody's used to. A water core, which would be water world theory. They say that's an extremely speculative idea, is that Earth's core could be composed of water or water-rich material, blah, 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 blah. Reason why it's dismissed, this theory does not hold up to modern geological and seismic data. Seismic waves would behave much differently if water existed in the core. And gravitational and magnetic data also contradict the possibility of water being present in such a dense form at the center. Magnetic metal core is another theory. Theory suggests that Earth's core might be composed of unknown magnetic metal. And that would be explaining Earth's magnetic field, rather than the traditional understanding of liquid iron and nickel at the core. Reason why it's dismissed is the magnetic field is more accurately explained by motion of molten iron and nickel in the liquid outer core, which creates electrical currents that generate the magnetic field. There is no evidence for alternative metal that could explain. Then you have magma oceans and superheated silicate core. The reason why that's dismissed is because while the mantle is composed of silicate minerals, the data from the seismic waves and magnetic field do not support it. The other one is a spirit core. In occult or pseudoscientific theories, some have prophesied or some have proposed that the Earth's core could be made of ether or spiritual energy. These theories often come from non-scientific traditions and suggest the core is a source of life force or energy. Reason why it's dismissed is because these theories lack a empirical evidence and are not based on scientific principles. They are dismissed because they cannot be tested or falsified and do not align with established scientific understanding. There's old text that talks about before the moon. Really? That's cool. Now you got me wondering. Wondering if the hieroglyphs. So this is an interesting one. The hieroglyphs of in the pyramids, while it does show the moon, they often are symbolic and had various meanings depending on the context. Usually it's a deity. Okay, they did track the moon though. So this is generally what you get. Stuff like this. Or you get it in a crescent form. So that's interesting. Let's see. Another thing that I've always wondered is why is it that the Aztecs, Egyptians, other places had pyramids, yet they never visited one another? That's just an interesting structure. And here we are building buildings in a rectangle, square type deal. Like it just stopped, and it stopped for a long time. Oh yeah. Rumors of pyramids in the United States. Oh yeah. I think North Carolina is one of them. Alright. I'm going to go to bed. I've done my research. I'm going to go to bed. Hope you all have a wonderful, blessed, and amazing night. Thank y'all for being in here. As I always say, do not live in fear, because if you live in fear, you die several times in your life. If you do not live in fear, you only die one time. Everyone have a wonderful, blessed, and amazing night. I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Take care. God bless. Night, everybody. Thank y'all for being in here. Thank you, everybody, for the taps, the thumbs up, commenting on the video, commenting on this video after you leave. Everyone who sent in gifts, I appreciate that. Hope you all have a wonderful, blessed, and amazing night. Take care. God bless. Night, everybody.